What up? Tech Beach Boy here. I got a good video for you today. I'm glad to be back. Long time no see. You guys probably saw my channel down, wondering what the heck's going on. Now it's back up. You guys have probably seen a lot of videos from concerts and runs, and you're thinking, what the heck's going on with Tech Beach Boy? Well, I'm here to let you know what's going on, give you a status update, and I have 3 key strategies that you need to apply to allow you to continue to be successful. I got a good video for you guys today. Please smash the like button, click subscribe, comment down below, let me know how this video is and what content you want to see. Let's go! Okay, so many of you know that I was teaching at university. I was a professor, non-tenure track. I also had my business on the side. I was really happy with what I was doing. I really enjoyed helping people and helping students. In fact, I still get a lot of students today sending me messages on social media, thanking me for all that I've done, helping them get an awesome job. And being a professor is very satisfying, and I really enjoyed what I did. But now I'm out here in Silicon Valley. I'm working in FANG. For those of you who don't know what FANG is an acronym, F-A-N-G. It stands for Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. Facebook and Netflix are not doing so well right now, so that's a whole different video topic. Also, they changed their names. Facebook is now Meta. Google is now Alphabet, so that whole acronym has changed, but it's still being used to symbolize working in the big tech companies. And essentially, it's a way for technology people to say they're working in big tech without specifying what company they're working for. Now, you've probably seen all the happy videos of me out here in Silicon Valley, but what you didn't see was the struggle that I went through to get out here, and all the pain and suffering that happened, and all the knowledge and information that I've learned. And that's what I want to share with you today. A lot of people say I look like a surfer but talk like a country boy. That's actually true. I was born in Los Angeles but raised in Missouri, raised in the Midwest. And so coming out here to Silicon Valley, working in the tech companies was such a painful process for me. All my immediate family is back in Missouri, but essentially my parents were in the Midwest, and I wanted to be around my family. Family is very important for me. So I was kicking and screaming like a baby, clawing my way to stay in Missouri, but that wasn't God's plan. God wanted me to come out here and work for the big tech companies. And I had to fight so hard to get into FANG, to get into the top tech companies. I applied to so many jobs. I applied to over 50 companies and got 50 rejections, finally to get into one of the big tech companies. But the point I'm making this video today is for 3 key things to continue to be successful. The first is you need to stay positive. Now, what do I mean by that? I was positive being a professor. I enjoyed what I did. But I wasn't positive for the change that was coming. As I said, I was kicking and screaming like a little baby. Oh, I don't want to go to California. There's too many people. There's too much pollution. Oh, it's too expensive. The people out there are rude. The driving's crazy. There's traffic. Blah, 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 blah. All these things why I didn't want to go. And what made it worse is my family was originally from Los Angeles. So every time I thought about moving out to California, in my mind, I envisioned LA. But if you've been to Silicon Valley or the Bay Area, it is nothing like LA. It's completely different. It's like comparing apples and oranges. And so during this move, I was so negative. I almost fought on a daily basis with my previous girlfriend. She'd want to come out here. There's more job opportunities, higher pay. You're in the tech industry, so this is where the tech people go. And there's so many reasons why she wanted to come out here. There were so many reasons why I didn't. Oh, my job is stable. We have plenty of money to survive. It's comfortable. I know the people. I know all the connections. I'm used to this style of living. I'm used to the Midwest. I'm used to that lifestyle. And just back and forth, arguing, fighting on why to go and why not to go. And if I could go back, I would have stayed positive. I was biased and judging how the Bay Area was going to be without even going out there myself. And so if I could go back in time during this whole transition, I would have been more positive on the opportunity, and I wish I wouldn't have had so many biases or judged the area or judged how it was going to be without actually trying it myself. So if you want to continue to grow in your career and grow as a person, continue to be positive. Be thankful for the change. Be thankful for the opportunity. Stay positive. Don't be negative. Don't have all these things going around in your mind about how horrible it's going to be. When faced with an opportunity or a challenge, continue to stay positive and stay open-minded and see if that is a good opportunity or not. Which brings me to my second point. To be successful, be open for change. Keep moving. Keep improving. Now, a lot of you might say, well, that's the exact same thing you just said earlier. I have a different point here. What I mean is, back in Missouri, I was very comfortable. I had plenty of money. When I go to the store, I could buy whatever I wanted. I didn't even look at the price. I had my routine down. So in the semester, I'd focus on teaching. In the summer, I'd focus more on my business. In the fall semester, I'd go back to teaching. And in the winter breaks, I'd go back to my business. So I had this routine. I was very comfortable in what I was doing. The time that you feel comfortable is the time where you should start looking for improving yourself. Now, the teaching position was very stable. In fact, when I became a professor, in my mind, I said, okay, this is it. I'm going to buy a house here. I'm going to raise a family. I'm going to stay here. And this is what I'm going to do. This was what God had given me, and this was God's mission for my life, to continue to help people, run my business on the side. And for the first 2 to 3 years, I was growing. I was becoming a better professor. My business was growing. I was improving on the technology side through my business. New students were coming in. They were improving me with their new ideas and their new thinking. And I enjoyed that university atmosphere. But I wasn't growing as an individual. I wasn't growing my career. In fact, if I would have kept that position for the next 10 years, I would have been doing the exact same thing. Yeah, maybe I would have moved up, maybe I would have got a few raises, maybe things would improve slightly, but not the type of change that I'm talking about. And it's funny, when I got into FANG, one of the first things that we did during our onboarding process was we actually took a course on career development and how the company actually wants us to improve. It actually impressed me with how much material they provide. The courses they provide counseling, mentoring to help you grow your career. So when you get into big tech companies, they don't want you to stay in this position for 20 years. They want you to get in this position, learn. Once you hit the ceiling, go to the next level. Once you hit that ceiling, go to the next level and keep working your way up. Or maybe you're doing a position that you are good at, but you want to go into machine learning. They have courses for you. They have material for you to keep advancing your career. And it's very important in these companies that you do that. They want you to be happy. They want you to have a good work-life balance. And what's funny is these are all things that I thought the opposite. I thought, man, when I go out there, the work-life balance is going to be crazy. They're going to work me to death. I'm never going to have free time. I can't be creative. I just have to follow directions. And man, was I wrong. It's actually the complete opposite. I'm very impressed with the companies and how they want you to advance your career, be creative, be yourself. It's something that I've never experienced in other companies. And so that brings me back to the point of keep moving, be open for change. Once you feel comfortable with what you're doing, it's time to try to improve yourself. It's time to change. It's time to move up, advance, become better, learn new material. As a professor, I was teaching students every day. I was watching them advance. Then they would go out and get an awesome job and probably make more money than I was. But for me, I was staying the same. Yes, I was learning in my business. Yes, I was improving my courses and adding material every semester. But the change that I'm talking about is dramatic change. Becoming a better engineer, becoming a better individual, improving yourself more than you ever thought that you could. One of the famous sayings that I'm using for motivation recently is, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. The move from Missouri to Silicon Valley scared me. It was out of my comfort zone. I wasn't ready. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't have friends out there. I didn't have connections. I didn't know what the big tech companies were going to be like. And so that scared me. But now that I'm out here and did that transition, I look back and I'm very grateful for that change. I'm very happy that I kept moving. And to be honest, it wasn't my decision. The Lord pushed me to come out here. I was content. I was happy with what I was doing. I was ready to do that for 10 or 20 more years. And if you would have looked at my advancement or my growth, it would have been linear. So you would have seen a linear line, continuous growth, stable. In Silicon Valley, when you first get in, maybe you do take a little bit of dip. I used to tell my students, be careful when you go out there. You're going to see the salary, you're going to think it's big, but the cost of living is also high, and so you need to calculate that ratio. Just because you make more doesn't mean the quality of life is going to be better. And what I was saying was true, but you don't really know until you experience yourself. So yes, the cost of living out here is much greater. Yes, you get paid more. But what you got to think about is total assets. How much total assets do I have compared to what I had before? Well, my sign-on bonus was 3 times my annual salary. And that's just a sign-on bonus. So the total assets that I have now are far greater than I ever would have had back in the Midwest. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say, oh, I make so much money. I'm trying to help you to keep an open mind that you hear all the time. Oh, California, they tax you. It's so expensive. Yes, all these things are true, but how much total assets will you have by making that change in career than what you would have had before? That's something that you need to think about. And so initially, I got paid more, but the cost of living was worse, so maybe I did decrease a little bit in quality of life. But maybe I decreased, and now the opportunity out here is so great that my growth can grow exponentially. So maybe I do take a small decrease at the beginning, but the opportunity for growth is so high that I can grow exponentially out here. And that's something that's very important when considering what career to choose, what location to go to, and whether you're advancing your career or not. So keep moving, keep growing, keep having that opportunity for change. If you hit a ceiling, then maybe it's time to think about another position, another company, another area. Maybe you go back to school and study, depending on your situation. Comfortable feels good. It's easy. You have a routine, you know it's going to happen. Going out of your comfort zone is difficult, but when you do, you have opportunity for exponential growth, and that's very important. And this all depends on your situation. Do you have family? Can you move? Do you want to move? Well, in my situation, I didn't want to move. I was happy where I was. But now that I did move, I realized that the move was good. And so I'm trying to relay this information to try to help some people. The last thing, the third point to continue to be successful is to be thankful for what you have. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, you just said that. Be positive, be open for change. Now be thankful. These are all the same thing. Well, what I'm trying to say is be thankful for what you have, but also be thankful for the opportunities that you have. When this door opened for me, I wasn't thankful for it. In fact, like I said, I was kicking and screaming like a little baby. Oh, I don't want to go, blah, blah, blah. All these reasons. I wasn't thankful for that opportunity. Now, if I would have stayed a professor, I would have been doing the same thing for 20 years. And let's say I turned down this opportunity, I could have been a professor, I would have been happy, raised a family, everything that I wanted to do. But this opportunity may not have presented itself in the future. But let's analyze the opposite. Let's say I take this opportunity and I don't like it. Let's say I want to go back to education, or I want to go back and open up my business. If I take this opportunity and now I want to go back to doing my business, I can do that. I was already a professor. Let's say I want to go be a professor somewhere else. Since I have that experience, I'm able to do that. But if I don't accept the job in FANG and I turn that opportunity down, I may not get that chance in the future. And let's say 20 years from now, I want to go work in FANG or in the big tech companies, I may not be able to because I've never had that experience. This actually happened with another professor that I was working with. He had taught for 20 years. One of the best programmers I know, one of the best professors I know. That professor came out to Silicon Valley, wanted a career change. At that time, he was a little bit older. He rocked the interview, he did leak code, he got the on-site interview, and when he did the on-site interview, things kind of fell apart. Not only because of age, but it's harder to adapt and change. Even me at 30 some years old, I was already stuck in my ways and didn't want change. Could you imagine me moving at 55 or 45 when I have a family and 2 kids and I haven't been in school for many years, so I've just been doing the same thing over and over again, how hard it would be for me to change? and to learn new things and to adapt quickly as the technology field is adapting quickly. It's just difficult to do. But let's say I went into FANG, now I go back to teaching, but I was already in FANG for a while. Now I want to go back to the technology companies. Well, I've already been in that atmosphere, so it'll be easier for me to get in. So my point is, be thankful for those opportunities. Be brave and take those opportunities. A lot of times if you want to go back to what you were doing, that opportunity will exist. But if you turn down the new opportunity, you may not get a chance to do that in the future. So be thankful for what you have, but if I would have been thankful for the opportunity, it would have made that experience much easier. So always be thankful for what you have, always be positive, always be moving, welcome change, welcome the opportunity to improve. I know it's difficult, I'm not saying it's easy. This was one of the most difficult things I had to experience. But now that I'm on the other side and looking back, I can say, wow, I should have welcomed that opportunity. I should have sprinted towards that opportunity, not dragged my feet and wish that I could have stayed with what I was doing, not stay comfortable and just continue to do the same thing for 20 years. I should have been thankful and ran towards that opportunity, knowing that if it doesn't work out, I can always go back to what I was doing. So be thankful for that opportunity. Take the chance, take the leap, be brave, and take that opportunity if you're able to, because that opportunity may not present itself in the future. I remember when I was in graduate school, I actually applied to Google, and I was so scared for that interview. I wanted to do so well. I didn't have the teaching position yet. I wasn't professor, and they asked me, do you need some time to prepare? And I said, yeah, let me prepare. And they said, okay, message us when you're ready. Try to do it in a month or two. And I think I took like 3 or 4 months to study. I basically took twice as much time. And by the time I messaged them back, the recruiter that had reached out to me wasn't even working at that company anymore. And at the time, I could feel they really wanted me. If I would have just taken that leap and go for the position, in my heart, I feel I would have gotten it. But instead, I was scared, and I spent twice as much time as they told me to study and try to be the best I could be. And by the time I took that leap, the opportunity was gone. So when you have that opportunity, be thankful for it. I know it's difficult, but be brave. Take the leap. And the worst case is if you don't get it, then you still have your current opportunity. You can always continue on the current track. And if you do get it, and you do take that leap, and you don't like it, you can always go back to what you were doing. So in any situation, it's a win-win. Why not take the opportunity? But it's important to have this thinking. If you don't have this thinking, the opportunity will go by and you may not get that opportunity in the future. So stay positive, be open for change and keep moving, and be thankful for what you have, but be thankful for the new opportunities that come. I got so much content and videos to come. Please hit the like button, comment down below, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what videos you want to see. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. By subscribing, it really supports the channel. I'm able to come out with new content. Let me know what you want to see. I want to talk about stocks, talk about FANG and the big tech companies, how to get in, what it's like out here in California and Silicon Valley. But I need to know what you want to see. So comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe. That's it from Tech Beach Boy. We'll see you in the next video.